Ever wonder what your day would be like with Boom Radio? Yep, us too. We don't think about nightmares.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Boombar on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Shola Rogers.
And my name is Oladilpa. You know the one and only. Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm back again like I never left. And it is a very wonderful, interesting day today at the bar. We bid you a warm welcome. If this is your very first time you're joining the bar, welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're back again, whether you're listening to us or watching us, welcome still, you know. It is a very interesting day today, and we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Looks like this Mohbad's gist and circumstances surrounding his death is not going away anytime soon.
No, it's not.
So we're going to be talking about that. As some states seem to be banning Naira Marley songs. there's a lot of gist around that. Anyway, also, Petition Tribunal, you know, yesterday we talked about Atiku.
They were listening to us.
Yeah, filing an appeal to the Supreme Court. Yeah, and now Peter Obi has also filed his own. We would actually check out some of the things that
The prayers that they are.
some of the prayers that they're asking. Both also court in the U.S. has also granted Atiku's request on Tinubu's academic records and all that, and the few things that we're going to be talking about. Also, there's a conversation that happened last week that we will like updates around it now about a particular Nigerian, how she passed, and you know, I felt that a lot of people, there weren't a lot of talk about it. It was kind of swept under the carpet, but I like the fact that there's an update around it because things just can't go down like that. So yes, and also we know that last night President Tinubu had addressed United Nations General Assembly. We would see how much of that we can just breeze through. Also, there was drama yesterday in the at the UN General Assembly that was regarding a little bit of I think the Iranian president and Israel and all that. Maybe, yeah, that and a few other things, a bit of sports stories also. Champions League seems to have begun. Da-dum. So that and a lot of things that we're going to be getting down with today before the end of the bar.
That's what it is. It's the bar. We have I have the drink, and we have the gist, most especially, of course. And if you're just joining us for the first time, like Dolupo said, you're welcome. You're listening to us on Boom Radio online, or you're watching us on any of the streaming platforms that we're streaming at. Thank you. Please search for us on YouTube, Boom Radio NG, and like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Nice, not nice, whatever. Leave a comment. It's not today.
Okay, so...
You know, but be nice. Be nice.
Anyway, so we're going straight into the gist. And gist is that starting from some radio stations
in Ibadan.
In Ibadan, the Oyo State capital.
In Nigeria.
And some radio stations in Ekiti have now decided by themselves to place a ban on all songs from Naira Marley on all their platforms.
Okay, so...
They explain that this decision was taken.
So, before the Lugo starts to tell you why they are explaining, I just want to, you see, because we don't want to assume that you know.
But let me finish.
We don't want to assume.
Let me read the
we don't
story.
We don't want to assume that you know. This is still part of our follow-up on the passing of the great late Mohbad, a.k.a. Imole. Continue.
Is Mohbad not his AKA?
It's all the same now. Also known as. Is that not English? Also known as.
Okay. Anyway.
It's English now. I do that thing deliberately to trick people. Also known as.
All right. So, they've not placed a ban on Naira Marley songs on all the platforms. They're saying the decision was taken to the ongoing investigation. That's where my issue comes from. Number one, ongoing investigation.
Underline the word ongoing. Then
Investigation.
Then invert the word investigation.
And then, are we now saying that journalists are
Biased.
or that they listen to more of bear palogist
And social media
and
gist.
social media gist than really looking for information?
Or we might be downplaying the power of the journalists in Ibadan. The radio people in Ibadan might have information that even the police don't have.
Okay, then maybe they should bring it to the fore and not.
Maybe that's why they've done it so that people will know.
Not place
They're trying
judgment on themselves.
Oh,
but I also have another angle. I'm sorry. Maybe,
carry on.
I know that people that listen, especially on Fridays, people will know that I'm not a very huge fan of a lot of Naira Marley songs. Not because I think he's a bad musician. I think he has one of the most fantastic beats ever. And I think that's what he uses to catch people. I think his beats are like really catchy and all that. So that you will not take away from him. But I feel in the real sense of it, that a lot, if not most, of Naira Marley's songs come with a lot of vulgarity in itself. And except these radio stations want to tell me that they only broadcast at night.
Even at night itself. It's still
These
MTV.
songs are not even supposed to be broadcast because we know that there's supposed to be rules and the kind of things that you cannot play on radio. So they should come out and tell me which of Naira Marley's songs were they playing already, because it looks like we're going to put ourselves in serious trouble.
So the radio stations, Splash FM, Fresh FM, Agidigbo FM, I call those three because I've seen their videos and their statements, and I maybe there are more, are saying now to the world that they have not been self-regulating, because if the Broadcast Commission will tell you that yes, it's their job to regulate you, but they'll also tell you on the flip side that you're also supposed to self-regulate.
Yeah, so
because when you go to them and you're trying to defend a certain song or a certain thing that, oh, you didn't ban this, it's not on your list of they'll tell you, don't you know what is good and what is bad?
Exactly. So now, according to the owner of Agidigbo FM, Mr. Oriyomi Amzat, he said that from today, all songs from Malian music are forbidden at Agidigbo. We did not say they were the ones that killed Mohbad, but all their songs from their music label are henceforth cancelled. So if you are not saying that they're the ones that killed him, what's the reason for your cancellation?
If you're trying to show that you're professional, you have a
does not make any sense.
You have a program on radio that is not fit for broadcast. You have a program where they're talking about sex and who didn't sleep with who, and they do DNA tests and all of those things are not fit for radio broadcast. I've seen the videos. You can limit it to your YouTube and your social media pages, but he actually does this. I like the program, sadly, but it's not radio friendly. If you must come to Equity, you must come with clean hands. Dear fellow broadcasters, it's come to a point where we need to tell ourselves the truth. You cannot be banning songs. I heard them say some MTBB that are already NTBB.
They're already NTBB. Let's call it spade a spade.
So you're basically playing to the gallery or saying that you were playing those songs before. Either way, you're wrong.
It doesn't even make any sense.
You're
now,
wrong.
We're at a point in the music industry where people are not waiting to listen to music on radio anymore.
Sadly.
Musicians are not even waiting for radio play. Because, sadly, radio is not paying them. Are you going to get their songs off the streaming platforms? Is it going to stop people from playing those songs? You know, I was talking to a friend this morning, and then she was really on and on. I was like that. She was like, that there are about 500,000 followers that Naira Marley has lost in the past few days. A few days ago, he had about 7 million followers. Now he has about 6.5 million. And I'm like,
Okay, what about the 6.5?
what happened to the 6.5 million people that are still following him? Do you get? And I'm like, we need to stop being, as long as we need to stop being emotional about this. As long as we do not have evidence that because the truth is that you never know where this investigation is going to go.
Again, let us
Let us
reiterate that this is not holding brief. Like Dolupo mentioned, I know that she's hard on a lot of Nigerian artists. I'm a little bit more amiable because maybe I've been in the studio a couple of times, so I know the process and all of that, and I can relate. But regardless of that, standards are standard, and what is wrong is wrong,
yes.
and what is bad is bad. And we were all here shouting, Malians, no belt gang, no manners. It was a thing.
It was a thing.
Mummies and daddies, aunties and uncles, grandpas and grandmas, babies, everybody was into it. A whole lot of people
were into it, and I'm like, it didn't make any sense then.
You were dancing soapy, and
if I tell you I tell you in this life, I cannot, up till today, for the life of me, understand how that song Till Tomorrow is probably one of Naira Marley's biggest songs ever.
Yeah.
That song was so viral.
Well, one of the great things that he has that you mentioned is his production. The producers that he works with and his own style, there's this the way the beat drops, it will make you dance. We get that. But don't start today to now act as if this was not the monster that you fed and made into what he is now. However, again, I am not going to condemn him until there is proof that he was directly involved in the death of Mohbad. But I will continue to condemn him for the lifestyle that he has portrayed and pushed.
Yeah.
Sadly, for a lot of people, I know this guy one-on-one. You remember, right? But thank God that I never cashed in on that. I just stayed on my lane and all of that.
I just feel that,
especially when somebody was pushing against it, so it's okay. I didn't mention anybody's name.
Seriously.
I didn't mention anybody's name.
Like I said.
So let's get that out.
I also feel that as much as we cannot say for a fact that Naira Marley did anything to this person or not.
No. There are things that you can accuse him of.
Oh yes. No,
there are things that you can, even as it concerns Mohbad.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we cannot say for a fact that, okay, Naira Marley had anything to do with his death or not. Mm-hmm. Not. But the truth of the matter is that, like you had said, some of the lifestyle that was portrayed through music, and I think that this is one thing Nigerian music and Nigerian musicians and producers need to look inward. We cannot continue with our lifestyle of promoting drugs and promoting alcohol and promoting all sort of obscene things.
But that's what sells.
I can bet you take for example, I don't want to say maybe a lot of alte, but there are a lot of younger artists coming up these days that do not have as obscene music. Their lyrics are not as lewd. Maybe they would probably not have sold 10 years ago. They probably wouldn't have. But music is evolving. It's getting more mature. We can't always continue like this. We can't always continue like this.
Let me play the devil's advocate here. Every big artist that you know, even the ones that have become pastors, they've gone through that phase.
Yeah, and I get it.
Look, if you look at music as a business, this is what the people want to hear. Sadly, there was a time, Obesere.
Oh yeah.
Obesere would give you raw lyrics and stuff, but guess what? People were buying it. It was playing at parties. It was massive.
It was big.
Still is big. Go further back, You can even go to the sunnier days of this world, even the Obeys, Ebenezer Obeys of this. Opemi wale o tilekun momi. Think of that song being released in 2023. O tilekun momi o yoro idimi. I will sing it in Yoruba. I won't sing it in English. I will leave it like that. Uh-huh.
I feel that we need to be more. We can't continue like this. We can't.
It did not start today.
I'm not saying it started, but we can end it today.
If you think it won't end, sadly, Dolupo, we will still have this discussion. Months after years, it will not end. It's not going to end. Remember, that's why artists have the option of giving you the broadcast version of their songs and the not to be broadcast versions of their songs, the album versions. So it will always be there. It's like saying that you want to end prostitution. You want to end gambling. These are all ills now.
They are.
But guess what? Guess what? Those things are being advertised now.
I get it.
They are being advertised.
That's what I'm saying. It makes it sad.
Prostitution has taken on a different color.
It's hook up.
Then gambling, sports betting. But
the truth is that you know that
you don't see.
Then we shouldn't
that
complain.
At the end, it's a business.
Take for example, these people that are banning these songs or you're canceling Malian music and all, they are the hypocrites that you made.
They're hypocrites. All these radios.
In fact, you even see older people. I remember very, very well older people singing all these songs, and I'm like, don't you be? Some of these songs are cringe-worthy.
Now, the thing about it is that a lot of people, devil's advocate that I'm playing again,
don't realize what they're listening to. They don't
listen to lyrics. And even when they sing along, they don't imbibe the lyrics. I'm being real with you here. There was a time when Olamide got a lot of stick, you know. Whoa, oh yeah, whoa.
Yeah.
But when he explained it, he said, a more thicker body. And we know thicker means someone who has a thick body. But in Yoruba, if you take that lyric slowly, it means something different.
Completely different. Yes.
Do you understand?
I think we need to be a little. I still feel we need to be a little bit more responsible.
I agree, but I'm just saying that
kind
again,
of things are being pushed out.
That it is a business.
You do that, you sing, and then it's worse off because you now make videos. And these videos are now literally putting graphic images of what you're singing. Makes it worse.
Mr. Fashola, that's his real name, Aziz, right? Aziz Fashola, actually has a few questions to answer.
I think he does.
But
everybody does.
We must also use the same energy to ask for all the people who were with Mohbad in the last 48 hours of his life. 48 to
72 hours. Between at least Sunday to that Tuesday, there needs to be an explanation. Now, there's conversation about how there's an Ikorodu ballet that's come out to say that Mohbad's dad was going to bury him
overnight. In the middle of the night.
There needs to be an explanation.
Why?
Because there was already the conversation of why was he buried so fast?
Another social media influencer, very dark man, had talked about how they need to do a DNA for Mohbad's child. And people came for him, and he explained why he was asking for a DNA. Do you understand? In essence, he's saying that could be an angle to it. That you never can tell that
at this point everybody is a suspect. Yes.
So from the wife to the mother to the father to his friends,
everybody is a suspect.
Naira Marley, Sami Larry, all of them are suspects.
Everybody.
It is from investigation that they will now find that let's do a process of elimination.
I also think that at this point,
a lot of us are being too sentimental,
too emotional. I also feel that the police need to move quickly if they're still going to get anything from exhuming his body.
Yeah,
it needs to be done very fast.
Earlier,
they're already losing a lot of time.
Sadly, I heard a statement credited to a senator. I think he's a senator from Delta State that is going to sponsor a bill that insists that nobody should be buried without an autopsy being carried out. And I laughed. I said, "This Lagos has been doing that for years,
been doing it,
but until NSAS people decided to go and burn the only forensics lab that we have in Nigeria."
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't even I'm talking about protests, yeah. So the protest the peaceful protest that was supposed to go that was supposed to be planned around Mohbad's death by Nollywood actress Ibeabo Ojo. She has now announced that it has been cancelled. And she's saying that according to security operatives, they are saying that they cannot guarantee that this protest will not be hijacked. And they're citing the example that happened in Ogun State yesterday. And I remember we talked about it, that's the end of any protest.
Yeah, you see,
that's the end.
This is it. Again, I insist that people have a right to protest. Nobody should stop people from protesting peacefully. Protesting and rioting are supposed to be two you see, I'm emphasizing on supposed to be two different things. Sadly, protests usually lead to riots. Mm-hmm. I've heard different people say, "Oh, government is going to they'll send." Government does not need to send any miscreants to you. You see, the miscreants are there. That's what they live off. They live off violence. Look, are you kidding me right now? Cars get stopped. You know, you're in distress. Your car stops on the highway while you're entering maybe Lagos or Ibadan. Rather than the first set of people who come to you to help you, they are trying to extort you. They're trying to extort money off you. And you think that kind of guy will see a protest and he will not hijack it? That's my mic.
Yeah. And you like I said, it's very true. People are just looking for, take for example the videos of people shops getting looted yesterday. And my question is, who is going to reimburse these people? Some people were just looking for opportunities to steal off other people. And it's a very sad incident. It's a very sad thing. But it is part of the reasons why, because the truth of the matter is that when this was first announced, I saw a lot of people actually talk about it. And, you know, it's a conversation that, because we have seen it happen, especially with what happened in 2020, people are now literally scared of having protests. So a lot of people talked about it, that these protests, especially now that tempers are high and all that. So it was a very sad thing to see in Ogun State. But it was...
I must say a big shout out to the people in Ekiti for the protest. It was well organized and it was impressive. I must say a big shout out to even the Abeokuta. You know, I seen a drone shot of when they made a human letter thing, like they wrote his name, Imole, out, you know, with people lying on the floor, and there was a drone shot of it. It was really beautiful. It's a massive tribute to him. One of the biggest upcoming artists at Academ actually dropped a song yesterday, you know, because he actually is a friend of his too. Said it was really nice to him. They went to perform somewhere, they missed their flight, and he insisted on him staying in an hotel, got him a bed and everything, instead of him sleeping on the floor on a table somewhere and everything, and how it was so nice to him and all. And, you know, so tributes are pouring in genuinely for Naira Marley. And I won't stop knocking the hypocrites. One of his songs has now hit this. He dropped that EP a few months ago. One of those songs has now hit over 1 million.
People will suddenly realize that
on the top 10 chart that we have this week, only 3 songs of 10 are not mobile songs. Top 10, that a song can knock Ashake and the Burna Boy off. Those are the top 10 songs this week. You find that there are 7 mobile songs there. It's interesting how.
It's interesting, but
this love that you're showing him now.
Sad.
Just imagine.
Imagine you had showed him all this love.
If Mohbad had this kind of buzz when he was going through what he went through with the record label, I'm sure that guy will still be alive today. He would have found something to fight for,
Yeah,
some form
so-
of resilience,
I
and
just
some
think
form of
that
guidance.
it's unfair. It's really, really unfair that we do all these things
When
after
they
this
are
person.
gone.
It doesn't make any sense, and that's the truth. It does not make any sense. We need to be careful with the people around us and the kind of things that happen. Now, let's move on from that quickly, and let's go on to tribunals and a lot of things are happening. First things first, it's interesting how in Kano State the judgment is supposed to be ongoing, but the report is that judges are not there, that they're delivering judgment by Zoom. I don't know if we will say that it is
Maybe it's a security
it's
thing.
a security thing. Shout out to people in Kano State. Even they did not even deliver presidential judgment by Zoom.
I mean,
Okay. Oh. Anyway, let's move on from that and let's go on to where U.S. court has now granted Atiku Abubakar his prayers, asking the university to release his academic records.
yes, this is a very, very interesting.
But I was going to
story.
ask, isn't it the same academic records that we've been seeing flying around for the past 12 weeks?
Okay, so as at the time that they went to court, what we saw last week had not been released by the school. You know,
Okay.
and you know the school is saying that they can't just release his records to every Tom, Dick, and Atiku that comes to ask for it.
Really?
Did Atiku go ask for it? Every Tom, Dick, Ari, Atiku, Mike, Peter, Bola that come to ask for it, except the Bola is a Tinubu. So they were going to, and that's one of the bases of the argument that's been going on social media, especially with Reno Mercury and a presenter on Arise TV. You get about a so-called subpoena that the school had received, but the school said they never received any until this Atiku's case. Now, so what it is that in 2 days, the school would now have to put it out. But the school had already preempted that by putting it out because as of last week, I think the pressure got to them somehow because Nigerians have their way of using social media the way they want to use it. And it's, as long as they're not breaking any laws, I think it's okay. But if they are breaking
it
laws,
makes sense if you're not breaking laws. One thing that I'm also going to say is that this looks all too familiar. Is this what we're going to go on for the next 4 to 8 years? This sounds like exactly the same thing that happened with President Buhari. We went on and on and on and on and on for 8 straight years, and the man still did 8 years.
This one will be different, hopefully, with the sense that now the Supreme Court has received the petitions from Abubakar Atiku's camp and from Peter Obi's camp, which is one of the stories we're looking at, and they are intertwined with this one that we're looking at the moment. So what it means is that on the side of Atiku and a lot of Peter Obi fans on social media and even in real life, when you have a discussion with them, they insist that the Bola Tinubu that went to Chicago State University in 78, 79, or in the late 70s, is a female. They insist that this Bola Ahmed Tinubu more or less stole someone's identity. They insist that his real names are or is Amoda Ogunlere. At some point, that name was trending for weeks during the
Like I said,
to the elections.
It's the same thing. Remember the story of Jibril?
It's different.
How is it different?
It's different.
How is it different?
It's different.
Remember, it was that there was a clone.
In Jibril's case, they did not get to go to a university anywhere.
But there was an issue of Cambridge and why.
But they didn't go to a court in the UK. Now they're in a court in the US. You understand? So as it stands, the school will have to comply with this within the next. I think they will do it faster than 48 hours. But like I always say, when you go to seek something in the court, you must bear in mind that if it goes your way, it is fine. But if it doesn't go the way you want, it is also fine. You have to comply. And that's where my problem has always lied with a lot of people. So,
Are people really going to let it go?
what it needs to show is that it is not Bola Tinubu, this one, that went to Chicago State University. And that the academic records, because now they don't care about the letters that he has received or the certificate that he represented again. You know, the replacement certificate is something you can order online and get it and all of that. So they don't want that. So it's from the transcripts and all of that they want to prove that it's the one. But as of last week, when the school released this one, I felt that they had preempted the court.
Exactly. So anyway, Sha, we'll see how this drama is going to go, because I honestly don't have anything to say. Let me just keep quiet. I really don't have anything to say. Anyway, still talking about it. So it's now Peter Obi has now filed his own case to the Supreme Court. It's a 51 grounds. I think Atiku is 35 grounds. Basically, bottom line is that they do not agree with the appeal court judgment. Which, why I'm actually looking forward to this is because we know that time is really running out, and then the Chief Justice has not even announced the judges that are going to be on this panel yet. And all these things, everything has to be done within 60 days. What keeps me excited about this whole thing is the fact that now we're at a point where everything is timed, and before the end of the year, we can be done with everything, all this drama.
So that's why, again, I say it's going to be different from Buhari's.
That's the only thing that it will not drag. But it still looks like it's the same conversation over and over again.
Well, you can't help that if people refuse to move on.
Yeah.
You can't. Sure. You will not stay there. You will move on. Sure. If they decide that they cannot move on for whatever reasons, well, shall I say good luck? But it's good that we're using the courts, to achieve all of this. It's good that people believe that they can get judgment from the courts. So whatever you do, please allow the courts also take these decisions, and let us just stop this. I don't know, there's a lot of putting pressure on the judges. It's not necessary.
Hashtag all eyes on judiciary.
You don't need it. If you have a watertight case.
Exactly. You know how people should have even learned? With all because left to me, I felt a lot of these things were intimidation. It was borderline intimidation, and it seemed like it had to go a certain way. Sadly, a lot of people that pushed those hashtags, the judgment did not go that way. So now you should know that judges are not easily intimidated like that.
Peter Obi,
you don't say your papa.
Peter Obi, as a governor, got reinstated twice by the courts.
If anybody in this world should have faith basically in court, it should be Peter Obi himself.
Yeah, so I do not recall at any point in time where Peter Obi was going all eyes on judiciary when he was trying to get to be governor of Anambra. So his supporters should also key into that confidence that he had in the judiciary. These judges, they're not blind, they're not deaf. They can actually see everything that you're writing and saying.
Yeah.
And at times you're just more or less making your own case worse.
Case worse. I think so too. I actually think so too.
51, points that they have raised, and which is going to the Supreme Court. And 31 with Atiku, right? 35 with Atiku. So let's see how that and how the release of Bola Tinubu's official release of Bola Tinubu's academic records would influence or affect
the case. All right, now still talking about tribunals. Bauchi State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal has now affirmed the victory of Governor Bala Mohammed of the PDP. They've dismissed the petition filed by the APC and his governorship candidate.
That's what it is. Look, a lot of these petitions I felt were just based on sentiments.
Yeah,
and
I think so too.
The law does not listen to sentiments. Even if you feel that the person that you are taking to the petition tribunal, election petition tribunal, has done something wrong, it's not about what you feel. It's about what you can prove.
It's
what you can prove. Like, if you look, everybody talks about Opus Odima. It was fourth, it was third, it was fifth, it was 10th.
He proved his case.
The man came out to show.
He had prayers and he proved his
that,
case.
Look,
he
won the case. You understand? Peter Obi did it too.
Twice.
He did it.
A lot of governors, former governors, yes,
did the same thing.
Mimiko, if we I'm correct,
did it.
Yes, he did it.
What's his name?
Oyetola did it then.
Oyetola Ke.
No, it wasn't Oyetola. It was Aregbe.
It's Aregbe Shola.
It was Aregbe that did it. There are actually a lot of governors that did it. How many do we even count? How many? So let's not be sentimental about these things. If you can prove your case well, no matter how ridiculous it might sound to people,
that's all you need to do.
Everybody made noise that if I think Hope Uzodima's own will say to most people the most ridiculous. Guess what? He's Governor Hope Uzodima. The boy your daddy went.
4 years.
Don't let him answer.
4 years.
If you call him, don't say Governor Hope Uzodima, then you know what's doing you. Anyway, moving on from that, President Tinubu had yesterday addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York. And he had a lot of things to say. The few things talking about how Nigeria and Africa are not ready for scraps anymore. That in fact, there was a statement that I saw that was very interesting. They said that Africa is not ready to change old masters with new masters.
Shackles.
You know, it was.
I like his reference to the shackles. Shackles are the symbols on his heart, breaking shackles and everything. And he talked about how Africa was not ready to exchange old shackles for new ones. Every time I look at the Niger situation, I see them exchanging old shackles for new ones. Mm-hmm. That's what I see. And I'm glad that, in fact, the man didn't speak like a Nigerian president. He spoke like the president of the AU.
Yeah,
his speech
he had a lot of things to say.
Was well written and well delivered, and I was impressed. There's a part where he talked about it's not about if Africa is ready for business; it's about if the rest of the world is ready to do business with Africa. And we're talking about partnerships now. It's no more handouts, no more come in and do business.
And let's know what
and
we're
again, the theft of Africa's resources.
It has to stop. It definitely has to stop. He also had to talk about a lot of coups happening that it's definitely we know those things do not make any sense. Sadly, he's talked about how they're working to get first things first Niger back to democratic. Thankfully, we're not at the point where it's brutal force that is happening there yet. So hopefully
it won't get that
bad. Now, on the sidelines of that, and we know that if we go to Gabon, I know that Gabon, I think the Commonwealth has now temporarily suspended them because of the coup happening there as well. And interestingly, in between all this happening, Rwandan President Paul Kagame has now said that he will be running for fourth term in elections that are supposed to be held next year.
Paul Kagame is an interesting person.
He has been the president since 1994.
94.
29 years. Let me just put it in perspective. 29 years.
Wow. 94 is 29?
Yes.
Shouldn't it be more than that?
No.
Like
he won a third term in 2017. He's 2017. How many years is one? tenure.
There's election next year now. 2017
So
to
2017 to
6 years.
7 years. Next year, so it's 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he won 99% of votes. Are you... Why do you people do these things?
Well,
Why do you people do these things? Like, are you joking?
honestly,
9%.
this is one of the things that Africa keeps talking about how, but they won't take you serious.
They would not. Nobody was going to take you serious if you keep doing these things.
Look at the exchange of power in Gabon. It wasn't a coup. It was two cousins saying, "I know you don't feel too well, and the guys are really getting hard on you. So
Yes.
like, just go. I'll let
And
you
it's
go.
the truth.
You know, you're my cousin now." The guy that took over went to the person he took over's father's graveside to pray. And he had pictures
See,
taken.
they're just using that country to play ping pong.
They are cousins now. They are relatives now. And, you know, so that's the Gabon situation. African leaders are another problem. They are like a pandemic. They are like a plague. And that's the truth. Now, a lot of people will tell you that Kagame has done very well. Oh, my God. Rwanda, they have the best stadiums. They have the best hotels. They have tourist attractions and all of that. But what is democracy?
It's not making sense. Let's call it spade.
When there is
not
no
making
opposition.
sense.
Have you ever heard of an opposition in Rwanda before?
Somebody just
It
did an
doesn't.
election and they said it's 99. How do you win?
It doesn't even
99%?
exist.
How does that even make any sense?
Oh.
Let's-
As much, look, when I did a little bit of digging and I said, look, I like this Rwanda. It looks very nice. But there's just one thing I don't like. I don't like a sit-tight ruler. And his daughter is in government. And it's nepotism. It's this and that. Yes, it's done well for Rwanda. I cannot take that away. But what is
Are
democracy?
you saying that you're the only one in the country that has common sense?
29 years and counting. And he wants to do another 7 years. So by the time it's next year, when it's 30 years, Abby, he will now do another 7 years. That'll be 37 years. Good luck to the people of Rwanda. May you find...
Shala to you. Peace.
May you guys find the things that
You
you're
know
looking
that
for.
you're looking for. Anyway, quickly, the court has granted. Remember the boys that were arrested in, I think, Delta State?
Yeah, 69 of them.
69 of them. They have now been granted 5 million naira bail.
Well, the boys were arrested for, according to the authorities, attending a gay wedding in Delta State, Nigeria. And gay weddings are outlawed in
They are
Nigeria.
outlawed
There's
in
a
Nigeria.
law
Whether you like it or
that
not.
actually states that if you are involved, you are liable to a 14-year jail term, you know, and I think as a witness, I think you're liable to 10 years or so. Well, I think it's within 10 and 14 years for... So if these guys are actually going to be charged to court based on the Nigerian law, they might be looking at that many years behind bars. And I know that a lot of people have condemned it from outside Nigeria, but the laws in Nigeria...
The law is the law.
Speak against
We
it.
do not do those kind of things in Nigeria. Take it or leave it. Anyway, still talking about that, moving on from that, Ogun State government has now announced that they're about to enact a law pronouncing death penalty on quotists.
Well, the death penalty is something that a lot of countries are moving away from. A lot of people are, you say, you know, the worst case scenario is people get to be sentenced to life in prison and all of that.
However,
But whatever it takes within the
to
confines
stamp
of the
out
law
these things
to protect life and
and
property,
property,
let them do it. I feel that the problem is deeper than that. Yes, there's the punitive aspect of things, but you must go now as a governor, be more creative, and you must go and create. You know, so there are some of them who don't really want to be bad. So you must create employment. You must create engagement for them and all of that. I also want to speak. I read it. It's not an original idea of mine. I read it off someone on social media, and he was talking about how it was unfair that in Ogun State, they get one of the least allocations. but they contribute a large chunk to Nigeria's IGR, non-oil IGR. And we need to speak to fiscal federalism.
Yeah.
It's still not nice. I'm glad that now that there's derivation and our brothers and sisters in the South and the oil-producing states, that even in the North too, are going to be getting allocations based on oil.
Yeah, people should also get allocations based on the IGR that they contribute. I agree.
Look at all the cement factories. It's their limestone that they are using in Ogun State.
Yes.
And so all of these things need to start happening for them too,
to
so that they can generate more funds, and hopefully the politicians will use the funds effectively to develop their states.
I agree with you. Anyway, we'll see how that goes. Dangote Refinery has announced that Dangote Refinery will begin production of diesel in October with about 370,000 barrels of diesel per day. It has been also said that PMS, that's petrol, will start in November.
So why the rush to commission in May?
I think they just wanted President Buhari to commission.
It could have still come to commissioning now.
Yeah, it could have actually been invited, which is another reason. Take, for example, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. I really feel that it's still not a bad idea to actually invite him to commission it.
Because he pulled it off eventually.
He actually did pull it off.
He pulled it off.
So, yeah.
Something that Obasanjo started in 1999 or 2000.
Obasanjo did not start.
He started
announced that
he put the billboard there.
So
he started
How did he start it?
He
Billboard.
started
Everybody can put a billboard.
Jonathan
Anybody
took it a step further.
Put billboard. Put
drawings.
No. Put
by,
drawings.
By concessioning that road to a private
And then
developer.
what happened?
So all of them tried. But Buhari, whether it took him 8
started
years,
and finished
whether
it.
it took him 8 years,
Let's call it spade
or 9 years,
Buhari
or 10 years,
started and finished it.
Fixed Lagos Ibadan.
He did not. What's it called? From former President Olusegun, they did not start anything.
They started
At least.
It is to Buhari's glory. So I don't whatever argument that you are saying.
And it was only signboards people decided to put. They did not start anything.
How does road construction start? Since you want to be this way, yeah.
How does road construction start? There's a plan. They draw their plans and whatever it is. Then they find who they're going to give to and all that. All that planning.
And they didn't do any of that.
All that planning does not do anything if we do not see anything physically.
Did they do
okay, are you going to say that it was those plans that the President Buhari's administration used?
Plans
is that what we're going to say?
Plans can be adjusted.
They are not adjusted. They did not do anything.
Dolupo, did they do any of those things that you listed?
They did not. How do we know they did?
Those things that you listed, they didn't do it.
How do we know they did?
Oh, there's proof. You know, we've had this discussion. This road, we've had this discussion before, and I showed you proof. And you're a journalist, and you're going to be doing this.
They did not do. See,
they didn't do anything.
My bottom line is,
you
did not fix the road. You didn't do it.
He didn't
do
wait.
anything.
You're saying he didn't do anything?
No, he did not. The minute you did not fix the road, your so-called plan is not actualized. You did not do anything.
I don't want to pull age on you, but you're probably too young to remember that this road was at some point 2 lanes, and Obasanjo added a 3rd lane in some parts of this road.
Good luck to him.
So I like always going with facts. You don't need to like someone.
It's not about liking him.
But you're not speaking the truth.
Okay.
You're just being sentimental here. The same
I've
thing
always known
we accuse people
this
of.
road to be bad.
That's not the
bad.
issue. You see, the way you...
The road has been bad.
Minor things that I would just want us to gloss over. I also see that you harp on them, and I say, no, you're not being truthful. And let's be truthful. This road was started by His Excellency President Obasanjo, former President Obasanjo. The designs were changed under President Goodluck Jonathan when he concessioned it to Wale Babalakin's company. And they started some palliative works. They were on the road for a couple of years.
What?
They were doing palliatives and they were doing some construction. Yes, they were. They were based at the toll gate. They were based at Ojota. I have pictures. I have videos.
What did that do to the road?
The
road
walked.
has always been bad.
They walked.
They did.
Oh, yes, they did.
Okay.
Until
All right.
Fashola came under Buhari and said, let us break this thing into two. From Shagamu to Iwo Road access, let's give it to RCC. And from Shagamu to Lagos access, let's give it to Julius Berger.
Okay.
These are the facts.
Anyway.
These are
all
facts.
right. So moving on from that quickly, and there's still a few things that we're going to talk about, but hopefully we'll come back to it after maybe we go through a bit of sports. Now, the Spanish women's players have now agreed to end their national team boycott. I think that's a good thing. They're obviously the best in the world at the moment, so it will be a sad thing if they're not playing for Spain. Now that they've decided to strike a deal with the Football Federation and the Spanish government. The Spanish government had to come in with this. There are a lot of allegations against the federation, and I think they finally hashed it out now.
It's not the first time that they were going on strike by the Spanish women's national team. Last year, there was a lot of rancor in that team, and the bulk of their players actually pulled out, and they didn't even attend this World Cup because they had a problem with the FA and the coach. And eventually, the FA stood their grounds against the players and stood by the coach. So when the coach was going to recall, he didn't recall all of them. So in fact, if Spain had gone with all the players, some of the players we saw at this World Cup, we wouldn't have seen them.
Probably wouldn't have seen them.
And some of the players that we didn't see would probably have added some kind of value and some kind of beauty to the game. But regardless of all of this, it's nothing new that's happening in Spain. But I'm just happy that Rubiales, is out of the way because he did not follow the protocols. He did not follow the right things to do. And I think these women deserve better. And I'm glad that, they're going to get back to playing football now.
Okay, now moving on from that quickly. Interestingly, news broke today that former Manchester United coach has now come out to say that it's like he definitely made a mistake re-signing Cristiano Ronaldo into the team.
I disagree with.
I disagree
with Ole
because
Gunnar.
he actually did. Whether we like it or not, whether we like how matches ended, he actually came and he delivered.
I disagree with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because Cristiano Ronaldo's Man United legacy is intact, regardless of how he left. He was on his way, rumored to be on his way to Man City. That would have killed everything that he ever did at Manchester United. And if it was only for that sentimental reason you prevented him from going from the red side to the... Because if he had gone to the blue side, he would have won the league easily with City.
They were going to win the league anyway.
He would have won the league with City. So I disagree with Ole Gunnar. Ole Gunnar should be telling people about all the other nonsensical signings that he made, not a Cristiano Ronaldo.
Okay. Sorry to cut us short at this point, but we're going to move a little bit away from sports as right now, Tribunal has now sacked NNPC's Abba Kabir as Kano State Governor.
NNPP
governor.
Well, a bit of breaking news here at Boom Radio NG. In Kano, the demolition...
The demolition governor has just been sacked.
Has been sacked by the...
I'm sure that they're going to
now,
appeal court.
In every election petition window, one governor gets kicked. Go and check it.
They've kicked like 2 or 3 governors now.
In this
They're
window.
just in appeal. Yes, that Alex Oti, remember?
It hasn't been. That tribunal didn't kick him.
The tribunal kicked him already. They're in appeal court.
No, it's fine. Anyhow,
are we the same?
Anyhow,
What are you doing?
Anyhow, what happens is that at least one governor...
One person gets sacked.
Shall go. So a lot of people were thinking it was going to be Zamfara. And it's not Zamfara. The other...
I actually didn't see this coming.
The other states was Kano, Enugu, and or Abia State.
but he already got kicked out.
He's still there now.
That's what I'm saying. This person is going to go to appeal court.
Exactly.
But,
So this guy too is still there.
okay.
You know. But anyhow,
Which way?
the demolition man.
The demolition man looks like he's on shaky
told
ground.
to stop.
Yeah, he's on shaky ground
And
at the moment.
let's also add that he actually sacked a commissioner in his government a few days ago, who had said that if this judgment did not go their way, there was going to be trouble.
Okay, so
A commissioner.
So now the question is that maybe for the commissioner to have made that statement, are they saying they already had feelers that they were going to lose?
Well, at least anyhow, the judges are safe in their Zoom meeting.
At least Zoom that they did not go outside. I like you, Pujare. You put you what you wanted to do. I like
when someone of the commissioner's caliber and level
can make such damning statements.
Damning is a good thing now. It's a threat to life.
Threatening, true, very true. Anyway, still going. Let's go back quickly. As Champions League started yesterday, we saw a lot of goals here and there. Feyenoord defeated Celtic 2-0. Atletico Madrid and Lazio 1-1. Didn't see that coming. Newcastle and AC Milan. Looks like Newcastle is not joking at this point. PSG defeated Borussia Dortmund 2-0. Didn't see that coming. RB Leipzig defeated Young Boys.
You didn't call the result of Newcastle and
0-0.
Yeah, you didn't call the result.
I didn't. Okay. RB Leipzig defeated Young Boys 3-1. Manchester City defeated Cervena Zveda. I'm not sure I know how to pronounce that. 3-1. Anyway, Barcelona defeated Real Antwerp 5-0.
Fantastic game.
Shakhtar and Porto. Porto defeated Shakhtar 3-1. And then today is going to be the end of match day 1 for Champions League. We're going to see Galatasaray and Copenhagen play Bayern Munich and Manchester United. I'm very afraid for Manchester United at this point.
They should not have traveled. They should have just
Take
the 3 points.
I don't think it's going to be that bad. You know that I personally feel that every game is different, especially every competition.
Happy feelings.
I don't like what you're doing.
See, Eric Ten Hag. Something in your name might happen today with Ten Hag. I'm just saying.
I don't think you're being nice.
Ten Hag.
I don't think you're
There's
being
a
nice.
10 somewhere.
Wow.
10.
No, it's not that. I don't think it's that bad.
It's Bayern. Harry Kane. Hey.
Oh yeah.
Voilà.
No, that's true.
Leave it for Bayern. Bayern munching.
Okay.
Munching. Harry Ten Hag. 10. There's 10 in your name. It might be 1 leg, it might be 2 legs, but there's 10 in this game.
I think you're not being fair. Anyway,
but if Brighton can go to Old Trafford and beat you like baby.
But that's the Premier League. It's Champions League.
Exactly. That's the point. Champions League. You not fly your plane to. You should have saved your money.
You are being mean. Anyway,
don't bet on them. You will lose. I tell you now.
I don't think you're doing is right.
Anyway,
Arsenal is playing PSV Eindhoven. Sevilla is.
That's going to be a nice game.
Yes, I think it's going to be a very
nice game. The way PSV plays and the way Arsenal plays, we're going to be in for a
we're going to
fest.
We're going to see a lot. Sevilla and Lens were also going to play. Real Madrid and Union Berlin. I think this is a very easy game for Union Berlin. SC Braga and Napoli. I don't see Napoli losing.
Come on, Napoli.
So we'll see how that goes today.
Although Roma is my team in Italy, but come on, Napoli.
But we will also Europa is starting tomorrow.
What's a Europa? What is a Europa?
What are you doing? That's not nice.
What's a Europa?
What you do is not nice. Anyway, on that note, that is all we'll be able to take today on the Boombar. Thank you for listening. Thank you very, 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 very for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow with another wonderful edition of the Boombar. You have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.
Peace again.